News 46 Week in Review is brought to you by Southwest Medical Associates. Look for news about their latest healthcare center opening soon in your neighborhood. Southwest Medical Associates. Now that's powerful medicine. News 46 is also brought to you by Red Apple Fireworks. You've never seen anything like it. Nevada's elite fireworks shopping experience. Red Apple Fireworks. You're watching KPVM News 46 Week in Review. Pahrumph's #1 media source for local news with Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Welcome to News 46's Week in Review, your #1 source for local news. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Nye County Sheriff's deputies conducted a welfare check on a 1-year-old baby on Money Street, which resulted in 2 people, including the child's mother, being placed under arrest. The Nye County Sheriff's Office has issued an official press release regarding 2 subjects that were arrested. According to the press release, Deputy Thomas Klenzar responded to 5630 South Money for a welfare check on a 1-year-old baby. While investigating, it was found that the mother of the child, apparently identified as Brittany Thomason, was allegedly intoxicated due to ingesting pills. The child was placed with the grandparents for her safety. The roommate, identified as 27-year-old Robert L. Ramirez, apparently gave consent to search his room. The search allegedly revealed numerous hypodermic needles, steroids, and drug paraphernalia that is associated with sales. Deputy Klenzar seized approximately $7,100 in monies allegedly associated with illegal drug sales. Placed under arrest was 19-year-old Brittany Thomason for alleged child endangerment, 27-year-old Robert L. Ramirez for alleged possession of a controlled substance, possession of a hypodermic device, and possession of drug paraphernalia. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. The Nye County Sheriff's Department has arrested an 80-year-old man for suspicion of child molestation. The Nye County Sheriff's Department has issued an official press release regarding 80-year-old Morris Cadera. Nye County Sheriff's Office detectives recently investigated allegations that Morris Cadera had engaged in lewd acts with a juvenile child. During the course of this investigation, it was identified that probable cause existed that alleged Cadera had indeed engaged in these acts. Morris Cadera was arrested and booked into the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention Center on the following charges: lewdness with a child under the age of 14, sexual assault with a child under the age of 14. Due to the sensitive nature of the crimes against a child, no further information will be released referencing this arrest. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. A 28-year-old man has been arrested for suspicion of child abuse for allegedly burning a 3-year-old with a lighter. On June 6th at approximately 3 p.m., Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to 2400 East Mount Charleston, number B, in regards to a possible child abuse case. The report was initiated by the biological father of the juvenile. Investigation revealed that abuse took place on a 3-year-old juvenile. Russell Allen Droge, age 28 of Pahrump, was watching the juvenile, which is not his biological child, while the mother was at work. The mother and Droge were in a dating relationship at the time, reportedly. Investigation revealed that the child had been burned with a cigarette or possibly a lighter. During the investigation, it was revealed that the suspect had been playing with the lighter and allegedly set the lighter down, and the child had laid down and burned his cheek. According to the report, the story was after he stated that he did nothing to the child, then changed his story and stated it was an accident, and then finally stated that he was playing with the lighter and acting like he was burning himself. Once the lighter was set down, the child was burned. The suspect was very vague, according to the report, and unable or unwilling to provide any further information. The suspect, 28-year-old Russell Allen Droge, was placed under arrest for child abuse and endangerment without incident. He is being held on $5,000 bail. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to a report of a sexual assault last week. One man has been taken into custody. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to a report of a sexual assault, which allegedly occurred on or about May 23rd. The adult female victim alleges that Thomas R. Shiloh, age 58 of Pahrump, sexually assaulted her. The subsequent investigation conducted by the Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and detectives resulted in Shiloh's arrest on June 4th. He was booked into the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention Center on one count of sexual assault and was being held in the bail amount of $50,000. He has since been released on bail. Anyone with information pertaining to this case is urged to contact the Nye County Sheriff's Office at 751-7000. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. An approximately 20-year-old male walked into Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, allegedly reporting that he had been stabbed. An initial report to the Nye County Sheriff's Dispatch apparently stated that a fight had broken out with approximately 20 juveniles at McCullough Arena at Petrick Park. A short time later, Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue reported a walk-in patient with a stab wound. The victim was transported to Desert View Hospital. The early stages of the investigation is underway. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. Nye County Sheriff's deputies apprehended a fugitive on the run after an extensive 4-hour search. Sheriff Tony DeMeo explains.
Correct, and what it was is that we had an alert from OnStar that they were tracking a vehicle. At that time, Nye County Sheriff's Office responded to the location, were able to corner the vehicle, at which time the suspect bailed and went into the mesquite he bailed on Jackie and Jean, and he went into the mesquite between Jean, Homestead, and Mance. At that time, other units from Nye County Sheriff's Office responded and started doing a perimeter. I was alerted. I got my personal vehicle, and I got my personal dog, Diesel, and then we started to join the manhunt. At that time, we had information the suspect was traveling west from the location, and the other units started relocating in those areas, trying to corner off the area. My Diesel had actually alerted on an area in the mesquite, so I just went back to check because there was a lot of rabbit activity. I didn't know it was alerting of rabbits or something else. As I got back into that location, my dog Diesel started alerting on a bush at that time a mesquite grove, and at that time I saw the suspect come up out of that. He started heading towards Homestead. I got it on my phone and notified dispatch that we actually had a suspect, and we actually had a description suspect at that time because it was very vague. Then the suspect proceeded towards Homestead. I came back around with my personal vehicle. Then he went back into the mesquite area. As I come back around that area, he ran across towards the VFW, at which time multiple units then proceeded that area. Cordon off the area, then we proceeded to have a search for the suspect. One of the canine officers who we sent to a man tracking course was able to use the man tracking skills, was able to follow the footsteps, and at which time they located a suspect just in the area, in the south area of the mesquite grove, just behind the VFW, and at which time the suspect was apprehended.
We didn't have our canine units out here today.
No, the canine units, they were responding from the house, and it's kind of difficult in the heat, but I was able to have my dog, and my dog has trained to a certain level. I didn't bring him with the canine training, but he's a protection dog, and he's also a dog that is trained in tracking. So I put him in the vehicle, and he did his job. He alerted on an area. I came back around and checked, and sure enough, he was actually on the east side of the mesquite grove, and so we're able to corner off the alert, and everybody did the job. Fantastic job by all.
The high winds did not help Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue in extinguishing a brush fire on Bell Vista near Barney.
We were dispatched for a report of a brush fire later in the afternoon. As you know, it was a very windy day yesterday, so it was windswept grounds cover fire. There were some nearby exposure structures, but they were protected. The crew from Station 1 arrived, and they made quick control of the fire, so there was very little extension. They investigated the fire and determined that it made actually undetermined origin, and there were no injuries associated with it. So we're monitoring the area to see if there's any activity that we need to be aware of.
I know that the brush truck came out, and it has a special device on the front.
Yeah, it's a remote control nozzle, and what it does, it allows us to use the apparatus with fewer resources so we can commit the hand crews to other areas. And basically, in essence, what it does is it'll go down there, and the driver can operate with a joystick, and he can actually extend the water, or you can put it in different patterns and such. It's a really nifty tool for us.
The Nye County Juvenile Probation is checking into the possibility that a child lit his own home on fire off Blosser Ranch Road. We speak to Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue Chief Scott Lewis.
Yes, yesterday morning around 10:15 we were dispatched a report of a structure fire on Kurt Road. And upon arrival, we did find smoke showing from the front of the house. We determined that all the occupants had safely evacuated prior to our arrival. The crews went in and found a room and contents fire in a rear bedroom. They made quick extinguishing of that fire. There was no further extension. And we completed the investigation yesterday and found it to be most likely related to a juvenile fire set. And we're working with the local authorities on regard to that issue.
And I know that we have fire setting programs for this. Is there any history at all, do you know, with this child?
No, I can't get too far into the investigative aspects with the juvenile, but we're working with some local officials. And as far as overall programs, we're looking to improve our services on regard to that level on the juvenile fire sets. And so there'll be further programs coming out in the near future.
I know that you guys checked for extensions. Was there any?
No, actually the crews did a great job, and there was no further extension within the structure. And so it just held to that room and contents.
Are they able to live in the home?
They're going to have an electrician come out and evaluate some of the electrical outlets and such, but yeah, it should be inhabitable by the end of this day.
Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue responded to a kitchen fire on Quintus Street on the west side of town. Around 6:30 this morning, Nye County Sheriff's Dispatch had a report of a kitchen fire on Quintus Street on the west side of town. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene and found smoke coming from the front of the residence. They quickly extinguished the blaze. No extensions were found, and the fire was contained to the area of origin inside the kitchen area. The state deputy fire marshal was called on scene to determine the cause of this fire. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. A three-vehicle accident on Pahrump Valley Boulevard and Highway 372 resulted in one injury. We are here on Pahrump Valley and Highway 372, where this afternoon there was a three-vehicle accident. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene along with Nye County Sheriff's deputies. Nye County Sheriff's Auxiliary blocked traffic while the investigation was underway. One person was transported locally here. Nye County Sheriff's will investigate the cause of this accident. This is Deanna O'Donnell on Pahrump Valley and 372 for News 46. If you have young children, you may want them to leave the room for this next story. One of the Binion Ranch animals, a gazelle, was attacked last week. According to Nye County Animal Control, Tim McCarty said the gazelle, which is one of many exotic animal types on the ranch, was attacked by stray dogs. He expressed that it was not coyotes that attacked the animal. He stated that it had severe wounds and that it may be put down if it cannot be saved. He added that the property owner would make that decision. The gazelle has lived on the property for many years along with many other species. A caretaker who works for the Binion family takes charge of all the animals on the property, which is located behind Walmart on Dahlia and expands from Wilson to Basin. More with News 46's News in Review. Stay tuned.
News 46 Week in Review is brought to you by Southwest Medical Associates. Look for news about their latest healthcare center opening soon in your neighborhood. Southwest Medical Associates. Now that's powerful medicine. News 46 is also brought to you by Red Apple Fireworks. You've never seen anything like it. Nevada's elite fireworks shopping experience. Red Apple Fireworks. You're watching KPVM News 46 Week in Review. Pahrump's #1 media source for local news with Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
And welcome back. The winner is the 9th annual Miss Senior Golden Years was crowned at the Saddle West last Saturday night. We speak to your new queen.
Our queen for 2011-12 is Vicki.
Well, it has been the most wonderful experience that I have ever been through. It started back in February when we started deciding that we were going to do it. We had weekly practices with wonderful BJ, and she just made it so much fun. And I met wonderful other ladies. The other contestants all deserve to be queen. We just all worked really hard, and I am just blessed for today.
I saw your expression when you got crowned. Were you shocked? Were you kind of thinking you might have it?
Well, you always wish. because that's part of life. But yes, I was surprised, but I'm totally blessed.
I know we talked about your platform before. Let's talk about Nathan Adelson Hospice and the Building Fund project.
Okay, that is a fairly new committee that has been formed, and our goal is to build a hospice care center here in Pahrump. And a lot of people don't even know about this project yet. So my goal this year will be to contact as many people as I possibly can, go to businesses, organizations. I'll get everybody I can to reach into their pockets and donate to our wonderful cause.
This is going to be a big jump forward for that building fund, you being crowned tonight, because you're going to be really out there.
I will be, and I plan to be. I want to really make this a go.
They had their soft opening last week. This popular sandwich shop opened its doors inside the Pahrump Nugget. Welcome one of our newest businesses in town, Capriotti's.
Yes, so far it's gone very well. We didn't do a ton of advertising. We wanted to open soft and get everyone trained, but we've had a really good response so far. Very positive.
How many do we have in the staff?
Right now there's 12 employees all out of Pahrump that we've brought on board, and very happy with the staff that we've hired. Yeah.
Capriotti's is a chain, right?
Yes, it's a franchise.
And what do you guys specialize in?
We specialize in East Coast style subs, cheesesteaks, turkey sandwiches. We do a lot of our own homemade recipes with meatballs and coleslaw and stuffing. We do oven roasted turkeys that we pull off the bone every day, which is kind of what our niche is in the sub world. We do a lot of different things, a lot of nice sandwiches that a lot of people don't do right.
Tell me a little bit about you guys opening at the Pahrump Nugget.
The Nugget, we met with them a while ago and set it up, and we were looking forward to it. We felt that it was a great place to open a shop, and they had space available for us, so we set it up with them. And we'd been wanting to come to Pahrump for a while because we've had in our other shops in Vegas, we've had a lot of people ask when we're going to build a shop in Pahrump. So
yeah, we're business partners. We have 4 stores in Vegas, 2 in Henderson and 2 in Vegas. One of them is on Blue Diamond Road as you come over the hump there. So we've been getting a lot of anticipation from customers about when we're going to open out here, and they've all come in today, man. It's been great.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is really great. Can you go on the website to order subs, or can you look at your menu on the web?
Right now they're experimenting with that in Las Vegas, and there are a couple of corporate stores where you can order online, but we don't have that capability yet. But I'm sure we will once all the kinks are taken out of the system.
For businesses, luncheons and parties?
We have catering available for all businesses. We don't have a delivery system in place yet, but we anticipate doing that after we break in the shop after maybe 30, 45 days. But we definitely cater to all businesses and whoever wants to throw parties in their homes for sports events or family events or whatever.
What hours are you open here?
We are open till midnight, Sunday through Thursday, and 2 o'clock in the morning on Friday and Saturday, and we open up 10 o'clock every day.
And can you order ahead?
You bet. You can order 2-3 days ahead if you'd like. We have a system in place where we take orders in advance, and you tell us when you're coming in to get them, and we'll have it all ready for you.
The number is 751-DELI, so 3354.
What an easy number there. Thank you so much, you guys, and nice to meet you, and congratulations, and good luck in the future.
Thank you.
It's Pahrump's best kept secret. Dar Howard speaks to us about her bed and breakfast. If you want a place to relax and feel at home, you need to stay at Dar's.
Well, we opened for business last June, and of course the big game in town here is the hotel, but fortunately there are many times people who don't want to stay in a hotel setting, so the Chamber of Commerce especially is great at promoting stay at Dar's, but we also get calls from the other hotels as their space fills up, and we're able to help people in that way.
This is a beautiful home, we have to say, and you're very hospitable.
Well, thank you. My big draw, of course, is Barbara, because she's the light of the place. She's such a wonderful personality and makes our guests feel welcome, which is our goal.
And Barbara, tell me about your job here. What,
I sure enjoy it. I really enjoy it. I love to see the people come and make them feel comfortable. And we laugh and we giggle, and they come from all over, from Sweden, Switzerland, Austria. It's been amazing, and it's been a lot of fun working here.
I know that, Barbara, you're a real estate agent, so you've probably seen pretty much every home in this town.
Yep.
So tell me about the comparison and Dar's place.
Oh, well, there's no comparison. Stay at Dar's is by far the most exquisite home that I've seen here in the market in Pahrump. And it's very, very comfortable. And of course, right on the golf course on the first tee, it's just a beautiful setting. It feels like that's all the backyard.
Yeah.
All that green.
It really is. It's beautiful outside. You got the lake, of course, you got the golf course right there. Do you get many golfers?
No, we've yet to have a golfer stay with us. We've had calls wanting to know if we have a stay and play package, which at this time we don't. I'd like to have them, but they've not been available. The front sight defensive weapons training and Spring Mountain advanced driving school are both draws for our bed and breakfast. People like to be able to kick back and feel at home and not have the noise of the casinos. And as Barb said, we do our best to make them feel welcome. And
Yep.
I had a return guest come in a couple days ago, and when he walked in the door, he said, "Hi, Dar, I'm home," which makes me proud, because
Repeat customers.
that's our goal.
How can people book a room?
Well, we're on the web, www.stayatdars.com. There's a toll-free number, 877-751-DARS, D-A-R-S. Or they can call the regular number, which is 775-727-4285. And typically, we have reservations ahead, but space available, of course, we will take them the same day booking.
The Calvada Duck Pond is back after being closed since last year. This popular spot is full and waiting for its feathered friends to return.
Well, Deanna, we're finally getting the pond filled up. It's taken quite a while to get to this point. There were some hang-ups with the pipe size and pumps and things like that, and getting our staff over there to bury the last little piece of pipe. But I talk to the ducks every day. I have two of them that live up in the waterfall, and then they come down to the eye usually when I'm there, and they greet me when I go in the door, and they go, when do we get our pond back? And I said, real soon. So tomorrow morning when I go over there, I'm sure they might be swimming around in the water if we can get that much in there overnight. It's going to take about 160,000 gallons of water to fill that, and that bentonite we put in is going to have to absorb some of it. Yeah. And then we got a crew coming in sometime in the near future to put the waterfall feature in, which is on the north side of the, that other pond. And it's going to be nice when we get it all done.
So what's the waterfall feature going to look like?
Well, there's a bunch of big boulders over there that they're going to place. They're going to make a little sluiceway, and then the water will be pumped. The circulating part and the aerating part of the pond will be the waterfall feature that will be able to cascade down through the rocks and then back into the pond. It's aeration that really is needed so that the ponds won't get dirty like they were before. And then general maintenance and trying to keep the ducks from doing too much doo-doo in there, and we'll be in good shape.
Just let them know about that. There is a filter that I saw with some rocks covering it in the pipe. Is that kind of a natural filter where it's going to be pumping water up through the pump system?
Well, I don't know if they've inserted a filter there. There is, in the pump house itself, it has one, but it's a small one. That's just to strain out the bigger materials. I'm there every day, and I have the people, the dog walkers, I call them. There's about maybe about 12 different couples that come in every day and walk their dogs, 2 or 3 of them. They enjoy it over there, and they always ask, when are we going to have the pond back, when are we going to have fish in it. Well, as soon as the water gets in there, we can see about getting some fish put in there, and I'm hoping that maybe we could get some bass or something like that. We'll wait and see. I'm sure people will put them in there naturally. They'll catch them and bring them down. That's what they did before. And we had a large population that we had to take out when we emptied that.
We did end turtles too as well.
Yes, the turtles, we're glad to see them gone because they'd bore into the bank. And if you notice, there's rocks and things there now that when that water comes up, it'll come up halfway up that slurry mix with the rocks in it. And that'll prevent the turtles from boring back in there and caving the banks in. We're going to do some additional walkways along the top when we're done, right along the edge. And it's going to look really nice when we get it all done.
Because we got the benches there, and I saw that some of the grass is still torn out around the edges, so that's where we're going to put a walkway so that people can safely walk around it. They said it's going to take about 2 days to fill this pond up.
Yeah, about 160,000 gallons of water. I'd say about 2 days, yeah. So by Monday, hopefully, we'll have, the ducks will come back naturally. They'll come from all the other ponds. And when they find out there's clean water there, they're going to want to head there. Unfortunately, there won't be any food supply in it, but it's good to have them there. The people really enjoy them, and we just hope that they don't overfeed them or something like that, because then they make a mess. So.
From Australia to Pahrump, we speak to filmmaker Wayne Bradford about his film. He came all the way from Australia to show at this year's High Desert Shorts International Film Festival.
Okay, so Futility is a little World War II piece that I wrote. It's basically based on a dream that I had of having a photograph make a difference in people's lives. I've been doing still photography for about 25 years, and I think that having images do tell stories, and they can evoke emotions in people. So I was looking for some sort of something to set this story in, and war, because it's such a futile thing, really, and there's a lot to be lost, but there's also something in war where people actually, sometimes the best comes out of people, and I just thought that was a good environment to set this film. Everything was at stake, and yet a photograph could make a difference in two men's lives.
What a wonderful idea, so creative. How long is the film?
The film runs for just over 10.5 minutes.
And it's a drama?
It's a drama, yes, yeah. So it's a period drama.
Can I ask you where you're from? I hear a hint of an accent.
Well, I'm Canadian born, but I live in Australia. I've been in Australia nearly 20 years, so I call myself a Kanazi.
How's the film been doing?
The film's been doing really well. It's played at about, I think this is about the 11th festival now, and I've won 4 awards up to this point.
Is this how many have you done before?
This is my 4th film as writer-director. I've done director of photography on film, produced films. I've actually got another one that's just finishing post-production at the moment, and just about to start pre-production on my next film. So this was number 4, but yeah, it's part of an ongoing process.
How can we find out more about this film as well as your previous films?
So the website for this film is www.futilityfilm.com, and it's also on YouTube. The trailer's on YouTube, and you can find us on Facebook if you look for Futility Film.
And for the upcoming films?
Okay, my next short is Helix Key, and you can find Helix Key on Facebook as well.
Local filmmaker Lonnie Childress speaks to us about his film, Don't Call Me a Hero.
It's called Don't Call Me a Hero. It's a superhero movie. It's kind of a strange concept. A guy saves some aliens from their own little monster that escaped, and he gets torn up in the process. And basically they rebuild him and give him some special abilities that he doesn't know about. He goes around saving the town from there.
What category is this in?
It's in horror sci-fi. It seemed very different than the other movies there. Everything else was horror, people getting cut up, and then all of a sudden there's a guy in a blue suit running around with a cape.
So tell me about how long is it?
The version here at the film festival is 40 minutes because that's the limit, but it's actually 45 minutes long. One special thing about this movie is I'm a Pahrump filmmaker. It was shot about 95% here, and with all but maybe 1 or 2 actors being from Pahrump here. So
it's filmed on location in Pahrump?
Yes, on location in Pahrump. The only difference is there was a couple news scenes that were done in Henderson, and I have a filmmaker friend in Georgia who filmed my newscaster and basically emailed me the footage, so I was able to put it in that way.
How many other films have you done?
How many films? As far as shorts that aren't commercials and things like that, this is number 4 for me. But all in all, it's probably about number 10.
What do you look forward to in the future?
Oh, I really enjoy doing this. I keep getting bigger and bigger for each one I do, and I'm going to be doing a sequel to this here soon, and going to be doing a web show that my brother's writing next year. So I'm really looking forward to that.
How's it been doing at film festivals?
This one I have won. I'm a finalist in the Las Vegas Film Festival, and it's shown here. So far, that's all I've gotten to. Everything else I'm waiting in the wind or have been denied on. But most of them I'm still waiting on to hear from.
So besides the sequel coming up, how can we get information on your previous films and this film and anticipating the sequel?
Well, you can find everything I make on YouTube, but you can go to bflatmedia.com. That's BFLAT media.com, and you can find all the movies on there. You can find my Facebook stuff. You can find all my YouTube links.
Still more local news to come in this week's News 46's Week in Review. Keep it here.
News 46 Week in Review is brought to you by Southwest Medical Associates. Look for news about their latest healthcare center opening soon in your neighborhood. Southwest Medical Associates. Now that's powerful medicine. News 46 is also brought to you by Red Apple Fireworks. You've never seen anything like it. Nevada's elite fireworks shopping experience. Red Apple Fireworks. You're watching KPVM News 46 Week in Review. Pahrumph's #1 media source for local news with Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
At the town board and the county commissioners meeting, on the agenda was the subject concerning the Nevada Department of Transportation.
Some of the previous transportation issues that have come up from Nye County, the desire to widen from Calvada to the Nye-Clark County line. This project is still on the long-range element. The desire is to have widening all the way from Las Vegas to Pahrump on State Route 160, but it's going to take a while with a lack of funding for a lot of that. But I see it as a high priority for Southern Nevada. So I've been pushing for that to continue, and I'm glad that at least we're proceeding with the environmental clearance, because we have to go in steps and get an environmental clearance first, see if there's additional right-of-way or other issues for drainage that we have to take care of, and then eventually get to the construction phase.
You got plenty of right-of-way, just build it.
Other issue of flooding on State Route 372 in Banovich, there is a project to just extend the pipes and clean them out. We couldn't do a lot with changing the profile of the road without FEMA approval, and we just want to do something that will at least improve the situation now, but it will not eliminate the flooding, unfortunately. That's a huge issue in that area, that we don't have the money to address that. Another one was funding assistance, as I mentioned previously, at the traffic signal on State Route 160 and Homestead Winery Road. We increased the amount of that funding for the additional pavement that we wanted done, and that amendment was approved. I signed that amendment a few weeks ago, so we're on the way on that one. Just a question: when was the permanent signal going to be installed? I wasn't certain. Do you have an idea?
It's Dave Fanning.
Went out to bid.
Oh, it went out to bid?
It's just
Okay.
not going out to bid.
Usually, I know that they take some time to procure the poles and all that stuff to fabricate them, so we figure about within 6 months after.
I think we're waiting on NDOT.
Probably, I wouldn't doubt it. I shouldn't ask, huh? As far as renaming State Route 160 to Veterans Memorial Highway, I know that Mary Martini has had a letter sent out, and we've had some response back on just dedicating the highway to veterans. And we had the idea is that we already have U.S. Highway 95 is designated as Veterans Memorial Highway, so we don't want to confuse the public by having two highways designated the same name. So what we're proposing is do something similar to what you see around Searchlight. This, instead of highway segment, I think it was just going to be this highway dedicated to veterans.
All for veterans. That's what you do outside of
And it was, I think it was just a generic statement. Highway dedicated to United States veterans.
Yes.
So
I have a letter dated May 2nd from Mary about crosswalks at Saddle West. Did you have anything further on that? We were real close on that. We were a medium category 49.83, and we only had to get a little over 50 to qualify. So do you have anything on that? Or
No, I know that she's checking into that. We'll have a response back to you, Commissioner, and to the County Commission on that issue of the crosswalks. And also, we are looking at traffic counts and crash data at the issue of roundabouts and traffic signals and warrants. So we're looking at specifically State Route 160 at Mesquite Road, State Route 160 at Wilson, State Route 372 Pahrump Valley Road, and State Route 372 at Blag. And the chairman had talked to me about Pahrump Valley and Blag specifically as possible candidates for attention from NDOT.
I've never heard on 372 up there by Banovich, we were talking about putting a box culvert in there.
Right, and we couldn't change the drainage situation there with box culverts, but we are going to extend the pipes and clean out the existing pipe.
The tornado ravaged Joplin, Missouri affected not only their residents, but locals here in Pahrump, so much that they felt compelled to reach out however they can.
What we're doing is we are collecting humanitarian aid for the citizens of Joplin that have been so tremendously devastated by these tornadoes. We're excited to be able to do this, and it's amazing what we've seen. He's had an incredible turnout. We have a very giving community, and so it's our prayer that we'll be able to fill up the trailer over the next 3 weeks, and then in July be able to take 4 guys and to transport this to Joplin, at which time they will distribute it, and we'll be able to help in any kind of construction endeavors they'd have us to be involved in as well.
Speaking of construction, somebody donated a $200 toolkit inside the trailer. That was really generous.
It was very generous, and that's what they need. They need new items. They need everything from leaf rakes to toilet paper to baby wipes to socks, underwear, everything. The devastation is vast, and if you go to the website, you'll be able to see from a link what it is that they're encountering, and it's a tremendous opportunity for the people in this little town of Pahrump to display their sensitivity and love for some fellow brothers and sisters on the other side of the country.
Calvary Chapel is doing this. What compelled you guys, besides the devastation, to reach out so far away to these people?
No, Deanne, with all that's gone on from Haiti to what took place in Japan, certainly with the flooding that's taking place, it's time that the body of Christ understood what it means to function as a body. And we're thrilled. Calvary Chapel, Pahrump Valley, Pastor John Gundacker is sending out 2 teams every week throughout this month to go and help with the needs. And we're kind of accumulating these goods, and we hope to go back in. Mike at Valley Signs gave us a free banner for this. And this is a cool little town, and sometimes you don't see all the love that's so evident in this town until there's a need like this that kind of motivates everyone.
It really is something that you're not seeing so many people pay attention to right now, but really needs a lot of attention paid to it. Quick, swift action is important.
Certainly, and to hit it, as you said, right while the iron's hot. And it's not just so much that the swift action, but I mean, we've all been in situations where, God forbid, you found yourself in an emergency room at a hospital. You need help right then. You need encouragement right then. And you need to know that you're not by yourself. And so Calvary Chapel La Habra in Southern California has already sent a 50-foot truck filled with everything. And so it's something that churches all over the country really are rallying to be able to, to put their hands to the plow and to help out.
If people missed the donations today, how can they donate through Calvary Chapel?
Thank you. Yes. Well, we're going to be here. We plan to be here we will be here tomorrow, Sunday, from 12 until 7. And then we will be running the weekends throughout the month of June.
Lots of fun and surprises for a good cause. The Nye County Celebrity Auction to benefit No to Abuse was held at the Pahrump Nugget last Saturday night.
We're really excited. This is our annual auction, and this year the proceeds will go to the Children's Advocacy Center, which is a new program of No to Abuse. It's a program that is being developed and implemented in conjunction with Brian Kunze, the district attorney, the sheriff's office, and Child Protective Services. And what we do is we take children who have been sexually molested or severely abused, and we begin the healing process with them by conducting a forensic interview. That's an interview to collect evidence about who the perpetrator is, and a medical exam right on the premises, rather than the children having to go to Las Vegas or Reno. We're extremely excited. We have children's workshops, we have therapy groups for parents of abused children, and we are really, really proud that this community has come together for abused children. Last year there were over 199 sexually and severely abused children in Pahrump, and we are just delighted that the sheriff and the district attorney and Child Protective Services and No to Abuse can work together to help these children and their families heal as quickly as possible.
That's a shocking number, even 199 in our small community. Is there any prevention programs or information on even signs to see for parents or for children?
I think that awareness is something we really need to work on as a community, and certainly all the providers who are involved with the Children's Advocacy Center need to help the adults, the teachers, the parents in the community understand the signs of sexual abuse in children. Frequently, parents or teachers think they're just being angry, they're acting out, they're being naughty, but in fact they may be being abused, and the symptoms may be what they're trying to tell us, but through behavior, not through words.
And as you may know, school's out. Students all over the county went home for the summer. Manns Elementary is closing and reopening with a new facility on the north side of town in the fall. One local school, however, Mount Charleston, is closing its doors permanently because of budget cuts. They shared a very tearful farewell on Thursday. The staff and students had their last math class, their last recess, and their last goodbye.
Normally we do our luau, but it has a little bit more significance obviously this year with the closing of the school. So a sad time for a lot of kids, a lot of staff, and parents too. So had a good time, dunk tank, and a lot of different events, and everybody enjoyed it, but it is a sad time.
There was a lot of teary eyes out there. I know normally you guys walk around the circle, you just have the fifth graders walk around. Today, all the students.
Yeah, we call it the Green Mile since we're green and white, and fifth grade usually does it, but since we're closing, we had fifth grade start, and then we went around and picked up kindergarten first, second, third, fourth, so everybody could say goodbye one final time and give parents and students and staff a chance for high fives and hugs, and tears were shed. So tough time, but you know we're moving on.
People fought very valiantly to save this school, to keep it open, and the kids are going to now be rezoned, relocated to other schools. How are they adjusting?
You know what? Last year we talked about it, and it was very tough. And luckily they kept us open because it was sudden. This year it was kind of planned for a lot of staff, and we kind of figured with the budget cuts and the way the economy is. When the students heard about it, they were sad. But we told them, you know, you're going to go to another school, and you're going to see a lot of the same kids and a lot of the same teachers. And most of our students went to Floyd and JG, and then we have fewer numbers going to Hafen and Mance, but they adjusted well. But you know, it's still a sad time. This has been a family for a long time, and a lot of the kids have gone here since kindergarten, and they've enjoyed the time, and it's been a great time. So we're fortunate, and unfortunately it's closing, but you know, the kids are going to do well. We've set a good foundation for them to go to other schools, so they'll be fine.
Did they get to visit the other schools before this closed?
No, they didn't. The fifth graders go to a Rosemary Clark Middle School for a transition trip, but as far as the other kids visiting schools, there's a lot of transiency, so some of them have been to every school, unfortunately, with the way the economy is, but it'll be a new experience for a lot of them.
And I know that your slogan for this was going out with a roar.
We are going out with a roar. We're the Cougars, so we went out with a roar. We came up with this slogan on the shirts. We gave one. We actually won the E-rate survey contest. We had the quickest turn in at, I think it was 75%, so our parents and students really got on that, and we got $2,000 with that, and we spent all that money on the students. So we got them all T-shirts and wanted them to have the Cougar pride to end the year, and a lot of them still have those shirts, and they'll hang them up hopefully and just remember the time they had here.
How is the staff doing? Where are they going? And yourself?
I'm actually going to be the principal at Rosemary Clark Middle School next year. I'm very excited about that. It's going to be a big challenge for me. I'm excited about the challenge. I think I'll be able to handle that just fine. I have a great staff out there. I'm setting up more staff, and some people are moving to other states for a job, but you know, we're filling in. We're worried about the budget cuts that are coming, so we'll see how that goes. My other staff, the staff that was here is pretty veteran, so with the contractual language, a lot of those people got jobs in other schools. Quite a few went to Floyd Elementary School, a lot went to Mance, a couple to JG, and I'm not sure anybody went to Hafen though. So a couple of staff went to Hafen, but most of them went to Floyd and Mance, and you know, proximity for where their houses are with the gas prices too, but also a lot of them wanted to stay together due to being like a family, so they like working with each other. So
you guys do this thing every time that school ends, and that was standing at the end of the line of the school buses and singing to them.
Goodbye. We made that tradition a couple years ago, and I tell you, I'm going to miss this family, and it is a family.
At the Pahrump Valley Speedway last Saturday night, we spoke to race car drivers Pete Wallace and Daryl Brown.
I race this number 10 street stock.
And how's that handling for you?
It's all right. This is my second race out. I still got some suspension work to do, but we're getting there.
So, do you have any other racing background?
Yeah, I raced a mini stock a lot when I was in high school. I got a second and third place trophy.
Have you won anything now with this latest car?
No, not yet. I'm just starting out in street stocks. This is my third or fourth race in the street stocks.
I know that your car's a number 10. You're going to have it painted next race. What are they going to be looking for when the fans are out here looking for you in the race?
It's going to be a dark blue sparkly car with silver sparkly decals on it.
So tell me what your hopes for the future with racing.
I like dirt track racing, so I think I'm going to stick with the dirt track at the local tracks.
What got you involved in racing?
A good friend of Gott's I know that race out here. I met him back in '94, and they got me into it.
Wonderful. Pete, I know that you won the heat tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, by luck. I painted my car and I went faster.
You were racing two different classes. Are you still?
Street stock and pro stock.
Wonderful. So tell me a little bit about today's race.
I'm tired. It was rough. The track was awesome. Yeah. A little bit rough down there between 3 and 4, but other than that, the track was good. It was fast. I had a good time out there. Some of the drivers went to Victorville, I guess, so we didn't have the car count we normally have. But
did we have any of the U.S. legends on the track this?
No, not tonight. They are going to be racing again, as far as I know. Though the newspaper said they weren't.
So what's all the classes that we ran tonight?
IMCA, street stock, pro stock, mini stocks. We had 2 bombers and 2 cam coupes, so they ran them both together. And they run mini mods tonight?
No.
No, okay. So I think that was it.
We had a little less cars, like you said. They went to Victorville tonight.
I don't know what's going on down there. Just somebody told me if you make 4 races, you're eligible for some kind of a super race or something. I don't know.
So we'll be back here in 2 weeks, though. Once again, we're running at 7 p.m.
Right, 7. We'll be running 7 all summer.
That's it for this edition of News 46's Week in Review. Wishing the best for the future to all of this year's graduating class of 2011. Make us proud. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Have a great weekend.